Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the possible last Dong Report of the MLB season. Of course, the Dong Report is when I give out my favorite MLB home run picks of the day. My name is Matt Modi with Jedi Sports Network, and I have 3 home run picks for you guys to lock in. I will say before we get into today's picks, I probably will give out a couple home run picks during the MLB playoffs, but I'm probably not going to have a video dedicated to it, mostly because I might only have one pick a day, and home runs are a lot more difficult to come by in the playoffs. So I would recommend you follow me on Twitter. You see my handle on the screen here below at Jedi Modi. I'll be posting plays on Twitter. I also have a Discord as well, where I will post plays along with Twitter and Discord. So definitely recommend following me on the social medias. So when I do have a home run play that I like, you get notified for it. As I mentioned, I got 3 that I like today. To do a quick recap from yesterday, I gave out 2 picks. One of them ended up not playing, got that one refunded. The other one was an L, down exactly 1 unit yesterday. That brings our total profit on the Dong Report season to date to up 65.65 units, 11.23% ROI. I was above 70 units before this recent cold streak, so I would love to get this back up over 70 units and the regular season up 70 units on these home run picks. Our first pick of the evening is in the Twins versus Rockies game, and we're taking Nolan Jones to hit a home run plus 430 odds at FanDuel. So this game being played at Coors Field is unsurprisingly by far not a doubt the juiciest game from a home run perspective from a weather perspective, for home runs to be hit. It is only one of 2 games that this is according to Ballpark Pal is above a 10% home run differential. Basically 0% is neutral. This is like at 28%, which is crazy. Again, the source I use for Ballpark Pal, it's only one of 2 games that is above 10%, which they consider green. Amazing game, 4 home runs to be hit. You knew you had to have something in this one. I like Nolan Jones quite a bit in this one. One thing I did find interesting is that Ballpark Pal will also look at the batter-pitcher matchup. And for this game specifically, Joe Ryan is pitching for the Twins, who's a right-handed pitcher, and Nolan Jones is pretty decently better against righties than he is against lefties. Granted, Ballpark Pal lists this only as a slight advantage in favor of the batter. Normally, I try to target ones that are closer to like an extreme advantage, but I still did like Jones in this one, so obviously we are going with him. As I mentioned, and I'll detail this, he is better against right-handed pitching than he is against lefties. The stat I like to use for this is ISO rate, because you can split ISO rate between righties and lefties. Against left-handed pitching, his ISO rate is 21.7%. Against right-handed pitching, it's up to 25.8%. Now, ISO rate, if you are unfamiliar, stands for isolated power. Legitimately, just measures how much power a batter has. Anything that is between 20 and 25% is considered great. Anything at 25% and above is considered excellent. So being against a lefty versus a righty is the difference of Nolan Jones having great versus excellent power. Another advanced stat that I like to look at is barrel rate. Measures how well you hit the barrel of the bat when you make contact, if you get good wood or not. His barrel rate, Nolan Jones's, is at 15.8%. As for barrel rate, anything 15% and above is considered excellent. So against right-handed pitching and with barrel rate, he has excellent power and excellent barrel rate, which generally, especially in a stadium like Rockies, the Coors Field, if you can get good power and you get solid contact, that's going to go yard. So I love Nolan Jones in this one. He does have 3 home runs in his last 10 games. He's got an ISO rate of 30.9% in the past month. It's at the 30.4% in the past 14 days. So he's been mashing recently as well. Love Nolan Jones to hit one for us tonight, cashing our first play. Next up in the Nats versus Braves game, we are taking Ronald Acuna Jr. to hit a home run. This is at plus 320 odds at DraftKings. Ronald Acuna Jr., talk about a guy who is an amazing player, having an amazing year, who's also getting hot at the right time as well. As a Phillies fan, I hate it. As a baseball fan, I love it. Acuna Jr. is just a ridiculous batter who's on a ridiculous stretch of games. He's got a hit in each of the last 10 games. He's got 4 home runs in that stretch as well. The weather at Braves Stadium is positive, but it's closer to neutral than it is green, but it's not so negative that I'm scared off by any means. One of the reasons why I absolutely love Acuna Jr. to hit a home run tonight is the batter-pitcher matchup. Again, according to Ballpark Pal, is one of the best I've ever seen in terms of advantage batter. It's one of the most ridiculous advantages I've ever seen. It literally lists this, the top 1% of possible pitchers that Ronald Acuna could be going up against. And from a pitching perspective, Ronald Acuna Jr. is a bottom 1% of the possible batters that Nats pitcher Trevor Williams could be going up against. It's like literally a 99th percentile advantage in favor of the batter, which is crazy. Love Acuna Jr. for that reason. Looking at Acuna Jr., amazing stats, unsurprisingly for someone who's hitting in the 330s. He's got a barrel rate of 15.4%, an ISO rate of 25.9%. This is on the entire year, massive sample size, excellent in both categories. And as I mentioned, he's been playing even better recently. In the past month, his ISO rate is 38%. In the past 14 days, his ISO rate is 37.2%. Very confident that he is going to mash one for us tonight, cashing our second play. And last up, third and final pick of the evening, quite possibly the last player that you will see me talk about on the Dong Report, is in the Athletics versus Angels game. And we are taking Logan O'Hoppe to hit a home run at plus 450 odds at FanDuel. As for our possibly last pick, I love going with a young player on the Angels who has really come on recently. He's only batting .234, which doesn't look great, but he does have 13 home runs in only 48 games, which is pretty good for a 23-year-old batter. On his entire season, which is admittedly a smaller sample size, because as I mentioned, he's only played in 48 games, he has an ISO rate of 25.7%. Excellent. He's got a barrel rate of 15.5%. Also excellent. So that's 3 for 3 batters that are both excellent in ISO rate and a barrel rate, which I love. He's also better against left-handed pitching than he is against right-handed pitching. Granted, the splits aren't dramatic, but they're still better. Against left-handed pitching, his ISO rate is 28.9%. That's down to 24.8% against right-handed pitching. So it is still the difference between excellent and great. The Athletics, unsurprisingly, pitching a lefty Ken Waldachek, who not only is a lefty, but is also just a bad pitcher in general. The Angels should have success against him. And as I mentioned earlier, Logan O'Hoppe is playing better recently. In the past month, he's got an ISO rate of 31.4%. In this game, closer to neutral in terms of a weather perspective, but still is slightly positive. So we'll take that. Confident O'Hoppe should be able to cash one for us tonight. Cashing our third and final pick of the evening. 1 unit plays on all of them individually. $5 on a parlay of all 3. If one hits, we are at least making money. We're profitable. If all 3 hit, we'll be slightly rich. Let's hope for that. Appreciate everybody for watching. Appreciate everybody who's been tuning in the entire season. The success that we've had on Dong Report is beyond my wildest imaginations. Let's hope that we can continue this for the NFL and the MLB. So please still keep subscribing and watching and tailing. But regardless, that's all I got for this one. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.